on Adobe Radio, The Brett Davern Show.
So one of the cupcakes has no frosting, and the other has very little frosting, and then all the rest of them are normal. Because
did you run out of frosting?
All right, look, maybe there was a little less frosting than there should have been, and I'm saying we're actors on a diet, and these are not exactly cake bams. So
there's a naked cupcake.
Well.
There's a naked cupcake in studio this morning.
Naked cake.
Katie, this is a family show.
It's the Brett Davern Show! Whoa. It's a party today. Today is our 100th episode. Soon-to-be-named Meghan is going to read her Jonas Brothers Fan Fiction, written in 2007. Wesam Keesh is hanging out with us. And Residual Roulette! Now let's get to the guy who's graduated high school 3 times.
That's me!
Your new best friend.
Yeah.
Brett Davern!
Listen up, everybody. This is our show. Thank you for telling your friends and family about our show and engaging with us on social media. You know, if you like to shout out a friend or shout at us or with us, you can call the show toll free, 1-888-99-IDOBE. The email for the show is bdsfans@idobe.com, or if you want to join the conversation, you can just text us. Just put that address, bdsfans@idobe.com, into iMessage, where you normally enter a phone number. Compose your text and press send, and it ends up on this iPad in front of me. People are already texting in this morning. The 3-3, which is France. Vive la France! Texts in this morning. It says, hey, BDS team, I can't listen live today. Aww. But I wanted to wish you all a great 100th episode.
Aww.
Have a great day, from Emma.
I love Emma.
Emma, je t'aime.
Look at you.
Uh-huh. I speak a poquito French. Oh, today prove that you're listening live by sending in the fire emoji, because this show is on fire, and we've gotten to 100 episodes very quickly.
So good.
At a blistering pace.
Yep.
All right. Lots of show to get to today. Very special episode, 100th episode of The Brett Davern Show. The Brett Davern Show 2.0 here on Adobe Radio. So we're all excited for that. Before we get to all of it, though, let's go around the room and say hello to soon-to-be-named Meghan.
Hello, Brett.
And Matadocious.
Happy 100 episodes, Brett!
I will say hello to Boy Wonder, wherever he is listening. And hello, Katie LeClaire.
Today is World Party Day.
Really?
Yeah.
We nailed it.
We nailed it.
It's like we did it on purpose.
We did.
Yeah.
Just like the frosting.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
It was on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Naked cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's listen to some music. And then on the other side of the break, a very special moment when soon-to-be-named Meghan will be reading some fan fiction that she wrote when she was 12 years old. It's a tweet that's gone viral. We'll explain the whole thing after this. This is Call Me by St. Paul and the Broken Bones. Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of The Brett Davern Show. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now, instead of this message and whatever song this is.
Sometimes the rules just won't let us play real music on YouTube or the podcast. It's not a big deal. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a second.
You're listening to The Brett Davern Show with that other guy from that one show on MTV. Yeah, you know, Brett Davern on Adobe Radio.
All right, so let's get into all this. First of all, before we get into all of it, let me just say the text line's going crazy today, crazier than it has ever gone before. People sending in lots of fire emojis, people really supporting the show and listening live, and thank you guys so much for doing that. It means so much to us. We've gotten to 100 episodes quickly, and the only reason we were able to even get there in the first place is because of all of you guys listening in and all of your support. So thank you. I'm going to try to do it in one breath. Thank you. Well, you know what? I'm going to save it for the end of the show. More people might text in. I'm gonna save my long list of thank yous to everyone texting in until the end of the show. We'll see if I can get it all done in one breath. All right, moving on. Here's what we are doing this morning. Our very own soon-to-be-named Meghan, who joined us, at the new year, sort of, right? So like 4 months ago. And she runs the board, she runs the video stuff and does the editing and everything when Boy Wonder's not here, but also does a lot more for Adobe upstairs and on the Adobe staff and all kinds of things, but is also a super talented photographer in her own right, and just an all-around talented gal. She admitted to Twitter about 4 days ago that when she was about 13, she wrote some Jonas Brothers fan fiction. And isn't this right? Soon to be named?
Yes, unfortunately it is.
Yeah. So you told the internet that if you got, how many retweets was it?
3,000 for the year 3,000.
3,000 retweets. For a tweet that you put out, if you got 3,000 retweets, you would release this Jonas Brothers fan fiction on Twitter.
Correct.
Okay. But you thought it would take you about a year to get 3,000 retweets.
I didn't think I'd get more than 20.
Yeah, and it took you 2 days?
I think less than 2 days.
Wow. So our very own soon-to-be-named Meghan has gone viral.
You're an internet sensation.
On Twitter. Sorry, Katie. Do it again.
I was making a lot of noise over here.
I had you muted. We're happy, proud. I mean, I don't know what I feel, really. I'm so excited for you. This is really funny. And it's you're a very funny person in general, and I just like that people are recognizing that, and I'm excited for this. So we thought, because the tweet went viral and everybody out there is excited to hear this fan fiction, that you could read it, a little bit of it, on the air this morning.
Yep. That's what I'll be doing.
Are you okay?
I'm a little nervous.
Are you nervous?
Oh, I'm very nervous.
Tell me about this, though. Walk me through how this works. Because I was saying to you this morning, I'm an old man. I don't even really know what fan fiction is.
It's a sacred part of being a fan, I would say.
Uh-huh.
It's just a way to have your own creative writing where you can develop a story that involves your favorite musician or TV
whoever
show
you're
actor.
a fan
Yeah.
of. So you wrote this possibly pre the Jonas Brothers TV show.
Definitely pre the Jonas Brothers TV show.
So at this point, they're a band. You're a big fan, and you decide, living in Minnesota, a young, soon-to-be-named Meghan decides to include the Jonas Brothers in some fiction that she wants to write.
Yep.
And in the story, you call yourself Brooke.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, I go by the name Brooke.
So when we hear you refer to Brooke, that's you.
Yes.
I love this. All right. How do you want to do this? You want to just start reading some excerpts here?
Yeah. I can start with the intro.
How big of a Jonas Brothers fan are you or were you?
Huge.
Massive.
Also, wait, but how many pages is the thing? And how many chapters
How much
is
did
the
you
thing?
write?
It is 78 pages long. And I think 31 chapters long.
31 chapters?
Yes.
What's the genre of this thing?
Wesam just poked his head out in the lobby. He's excited.
Is it a comedy? What is this?
No, it's more of like a mystery, suspense, I would say.
You wrote basically.
I was saying on Twitter that when you read the fan fiction, because I expect everyone to read all 78 pages, that I expect you to, let me find it. To fully understand my creative intentions, please have a score by Hans Zimmer playing in the background as you read the fan fiction at all times.
Okay, so we should probably cue that up. Katie's gonna grab the sound, the soundtrack, and then we'll begin.
Do you have a? Okay, here we go.
Hans Zimmer's Hans Zimmer, Katie. Let's just see what happens.
Interstellar is a good choice.
Interstellar. All right. Here we go. This is what's. Please begin with the title and the author, and then take it away.
The Summer of Scandals, Mystery, and Love by Megan Cummings. Intro. When a scandal hits the hottest band in the world, not only is their entire career in jeopardy, so are their lives. This is the summer that changed my life forever. The summer that I fell in love with a boy I swore to myself I'd never like. This is the summer the Jonas Brothers went missing.
Went missing? Oh my gosh.
Here's another one. Makes it clear that this was written in 2007. Oh no, I'm not driving 25 miles just to buy you guys food, I said, backing up. Who do they think I am? Their maid? Please, Brooke, you know we can't go out in public, Kevin pleaded. You can wear a disguise, I argued. We still don't know how to get there, Joe added. MapQuest it.
MapQuested.
Don't text while driving, he teased. I laughed and shook my head. What a cutie. I mean, what an idiot. Joe Jonas is an idiot. I don't like him at all. Nope, not at all. Who am I kidding? In these past 2 days, I've fallen deeply and madly in love with him.
Who am I kidding? Wait, hold on. We need that section again. That was good. Read that one again.
Don't text while driving, he teased. I laughed and shook my head. What a cutie. I mean, what an idiot. Joe Jonas is an idiot. I don't like him. Nope, not at all. Who am I kidding? In these past 2 days, I've fallen deeply and madly in love with him.
That's incredible.
Deeply and madly. I like that she uses both of his names.
Who the heck are you? I asked, my voice quivering. He, or me, just stood there staring at me, but eventually spoke. Your worst nightmare.
And the music cut out.
I wiped the tears away from my eyes and looked up at him. I was expecting a, what the heck, Brooke? You should have just told us. But instead, he kissed me on the cheek. Wait a second. He just kissed me on the cheek. Holy buckets. Yeah, for sure, Nick said, walking me to the door. Have a good night, Brooke, and good luck. He shut the door and I started walking back to my house. Little did I know at the time, but that was going to be the last time I was ever going to be seeing Nick Jonas.
Oh no, what happened to Nick?
At least it wasn't Joe. She's madly and truly and deeply
Deeply and madly.
Not
Yeah.
Savage Garden.
What a cutie.
I looked back at Joe, who was sitting down on the forest ground. He looked so hopeless, so crushed. It's weird to think that a week ago he was performing on stage to his million fans, and now he's suddenly running away from the police, hiding in a forest infested with bugs and spiders. This time yesterday, I wasn't even a fan of the Jonas Brothers, and today, it's like I'm the only fan left.
Oh, wow.
That was a good delivery.
The music is killing me.
I'm sorry. I guess being in the public eye at all times would get annoying. I tried to resonate with Joe. It's amazing how we get to live our dreams and everything, Joe said after being silent for a minute. Being famous has its perks, but moments like these, you regret playing your first song.
Oh.
Poor Joe.
Well, because of what possibly happened to Nick, maybe. The other one hasn't made an appearance yet, I've noticed. Whatever his name is.
Paul.
Kevin?
Paul. Do you have a final excerpt?
I do, but I need my laptop for it.
Oh no. Somebody throw her laptop. Oh my goodness. This is so funny. Do you have other fan fictions that you wrote about other
I
famous
I plead
people?
the fifth about this.
Oh, no, because this is now going to become a running bit, I think. We've got to get more. And I want to also tell people out there and ask you, you haven't edited this, right? Like, this is
No.
exactly what you wrote when you were 12 or 13.
This is all screenshots from the story.
Wow. I love it.
Here's one more. This develops the storyline about Nick a bit more.
Should this be the final one? Or?
Yeah, this can...
Okay, we'll wrap it up with this, and then if people want to find the whole thing, they can go to your website.
Exactly.
And read all 79 pages or whatever.
Okay, but anyways, back to what's important. Your brother is missing, I said, reminding them about Nick. Before you know it, he's going to be in the back of a milk carton. Doubt it, Joe said. Right now, he's wanted by the police. So he's probably on a sign that says, "Wanted, Nick Jonas, dead or alive, $1,000."
Dead or alive?
Only $1,000.
Only $1,000, and dead or alive, as if he's in like Dodge City. I love it.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, poor Nick.
Thank you, Megan.
Megan,
truly.
thank you for sharing.
Of course.
It takes a
anytime.
lot of guts to read something publicly, especially something that you wrote when you were, like you said, 12 years old or whatever, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I'm glad.
How do you feel? Are you okay?
I feel great. I feel great.
Are you going to up the retweet count the next time that you're going to release fan fiction?
Oh,
or?
yeah. I didn't want to release this yet, but I may or may
the
not have
people-
found a sequel to my fanfic
Oh.
called The Bullet.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How many retweets does that one cost?
It's could probably be a bit more.
Yeah.
I have to up my game about this.
All right, well, I'm going to grill you after the show about what other fan fictions you have because I love this and we need to read more soon-to-be-named Meghan fan fiction on the show
Of course,
going
yeah.
forward. Megan, you're amazing.
Thank you.
Love this. People are texting in, by the way. I need more.
Yeah. I do too.
The 612 texts in a direct quote from you, Megan. You're now a quoted author. It's moments like this that you regret your first song. They just quoted it and texted it in. Other people saying they need more.
What is
the
your
916
website?
saying, "Oh, the suspense! I need to hear more." The 818, "I need more." 480, "This is one of the greatest pieces of literature I've ever heard."
What is your website, Megan?
MeganCatherine.com. But it's spelled
Wow.
weird because I spell my name weird because my parents wanted me to have an awful life.
We'll give it
Oh,
out.
no.
We'll give it out at the end of the show, and also tweet links and all that stuff, so people will be able to find it. Megan, that was amazing.
Thank
Let's
you.
listen to some music and then come back with Wesam, Keesh, and Residual Roulette. Listen out for the sound effect, people. And when you hear the sound effect, text in the money bag emoji, which puts you in the running to win Katie and I's residuals. We'll explain more about it or talk more about it on the other side of Old Fashioned by Frightened Rabbit.
Thank you for watching on YouTube or for listening to the podcast version of our show. We love you. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now instead of this message. Sometimes rules don't allow us to play that kind of stuff on YouTube or on the podcast. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a few seconds.
Keep up with all things Brett Davern Show on Twitter. At Brett Davern Show, IW Radio.
Well, you know what that sound means, Katie. It's time for Residual Roulette! All right. Now, the way that this works, if you're new to the show or if you haven't listened before, is that Katie and I are actors. And when you are an actor and you're in something that's union and you sign the right contract, if they keep playing it on the air, you get what is called a residual check in the mail. We call it mailbox money. Basically, you just walk out there and get a check for doing nothing. It's pretty awesome.
It is.
But as time goes on, the residuals
awesome.
become less and less and less. So that Pepsi commercial that you did when you were 10 years old, now all of a sudden you're possibly only getting like $3 for it. And so we think it's fun to open residual checks live on the air. We have no idea what's inside of them. And if it's under $20, we will send that amount to a listener. And if it's over $20, well, we need it. So we're keeping it. But let's see what happens. Also, sitting in with us today and guest of the show today is the world famous
Actually, kind of true.
PrimeTime. You're no longer Wesam Keesh. You're now I'm just going to call you PrimeTime from now on.
For the next until the end of May, because we still don't know.
Hey, PrimeTime, you gonna wear those sunglasses the whole time you're sitting in the studio?
Yeah, you know why? Because my future's bright.
Your future's so bright, you gotta wear shades. Except for you just took them off.
I know, because I was tired of wearing.
Prime
Honestly,
time.
I can't wear sunglasses inside a building. That was so hard, even for that stupid bit. That was so hard for me to do.
Prime
wear
time.
sunglasses inside.
You're going to have to get used to it, PrimeTime.
It's the only way that they're not gonna know who you are. Otherwise, you have to wear a disguise like Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
Oh, I can wear good disguises.
All right, let's open up these residual checks. Residual checks.
How many mimosas
We
have
have
you had?
mimosas this morning. It's champagne because it's a celebration. All right, so let's see. So in the running for this morning's money residual check roulette, the first person to text in was the 530.
Was that after the sound?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the thing. We had a text in from the 34, which is Spain, but unfortunately
You
they
gotta
texted
wait
in
for
during the song. You got to wait till the sound. That's the rules. Because we're giving away money, there actually are rules to this. So the first person to text in was the 530. The next one was the 973. You keeping
All right.
track of that? Okay. So that's we'll see what happens here. All right. So I have Katie's residual check. Katie has mine, and we're going to as we can show YouTube here. I don't know who Megan's on, but we can show you guys. These are actual residual envelopes, residual checks from SAG-AFTRA. They have not been opened. We have no idea what's inside of them.
I can vouch for that.
And here we
You're
go.
like the person in the magic trick where you're like, look at this and make sure it's exactly what we're saying.
Katie, who wants to go first? You want to go
you're already
first?
open.
I'm already opening. Here we go. Katie, you have gotten a residual. Let's see. You have gotten a residual from CSI,
Oh, yeah.
Crime Scene Investigation. The episode is called Play Dead, and this is for foreign extended use.
I was Tinkerbell for about 6 seconds.
So that means this episode played somewhere foreign.
Yep.
Good job.
And Katie, your total, drum roll please, everybody. This residual is worth 38 cents.
Yeah! All right, 530.
Congratulations. Let's see, how do I do this?
530 gets
If
some
I
money.
cover up all this stuff, I can show you guys on YouTube the amount. There it is. 38 cents coming towards, who did I say was first in?
530 is first in.
Yes, the 530. 38
Brett.
cents. Congratulations.
Mr. Brett Davern, your
Uh-huh.
residual check is for...
Yes.
what is this for? Oh, this is for Love and Mercy.
Oh, Beach Boys movie.
Beach Boys movie.
Uh-huh.
Your total check amount.
Wait, foreign use? What's it say next to it?
It just says it's internet rental, pay TV, free TV, video DVD, internet
Ooh,
free.
so maybe
and
people
electronic
buying it on
sell-through.
Amazon Prime or iTunes. Okay, all right.
So it's internet rental.
Yep.
So you can give me 48 cents of this because I rented the movie.
Oh, okay.
Your total is
Yep.
$84.89.
Oh, yes.
Whoa.
Hey, hey, hey.
That's a good one.
Ding, 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 ding. Sweet.
Wow. That's
All right.
nice.
Well, sorry.
Sorry,
who was this supposed to-
973. But
973.
the 530 got 38 cents.
I'm going to need to keep that residual check.
Yeah, you do.
That's a tank of gas right
Yep.
there.
Well, after
A couple.
taxes, that's like 50, right?
Yeah. It's half a tank of gas.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry to be a
Sweet.
downer here.
Well, there you
Sam.
go. 530. You are going to get 38 cents in the mail and a Polaroid and some other fun goodies that we put into the envelope.
Nice. I like
And thank you, everyone, for playing. Thanks for to the 973, the 44, the 920, the 34, the 856, 818, 520. Lots of people texting in the money bag emoji. Thanks for everyone for playing. And we'll keep doing that as the weeks roll on and as Katie and I get residual checks. That's fun.
We'll try to see if other actors want to join us.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. We should start having guests bring in residual checks and play with them as well.
Nobody's gonna win anything.
Well, the problem is, with PrimeTime, with PrimeTime, his checks are way too big. So, let's move on to PrimeTime here. For the People on ABC Tuesday nights, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central, only on ABC. Big Shondaland show, big show, taken off. 3 episodes have hit the airwaves already. 4 have. Oh, sorry.
Tonight is 4.
Tonight is 4.
Tonight is 4. Yeah.
Tonight is episode number 4. So tune in tonight on ABC to see Wesam on For the People. How's it going over there?
It's, dude. First of all, I hope people. We always have to stipulate. I'm always joking whenever I say I'm PrimeTime
No, you're
or whatever.
not.
This guy. Anyway, it's
Between the two of you, it's amazing that anyone else fits in this room.
As a
Your
matter of
heads
fact,
are so big.
I'm sorry, Wesam, but I have to tell the people the day that For the People aired its premiere episode on ABC, I happened to see Wesam that day in person. And I had my phone out, and I was like texting someone, my brother or something had texted, and Wesam said, "Hey, can I see your phone for a second?" Because it was unlocked. He said, "Can I see your phone for a second?" And he took my phone, and he changed his name in my phone to PrimeTime.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about with this joking business, but...
Well, you know what? I don't care anymore. I am PrimeTime. I'm rich, and I don't give a shit. We can curse, right?
Yes,
well, you just
can.
did.
You already did it.
I'm not really supposed to, but that's
Can we
fine.
curse? It's going great, man. We're 4 episodes in. We've been getting most of the reviews have been really positive.
That's great.
Numbers have been increasing every week, which is
Yeah,
also
good.
always important.
Good.
And I'm just really happy just to be part of a show that a lot of people respond positively to it, are entertained by it. And yeah, we all know in this room like how rare this kind of opportunity comes, even like once in your lifetime.
Sure.
So I'm just soaking it all up, and
That's awesome.
hopefully God gives me another one down the line, or a season 2 at least. I'd like at least 2 seasons would be nice, but who knows?
You worked hard to get it.
Yeah,
It's not just luck.
Dude, that's great. Congratulations again,
Thanks.
as always. And it's fun, too, because I see you interacting with the cast and the producers and the directors and, like, everyone. It just seems like such a cohesive little family over there, which is what you want to be a part of. And that's really cool. I mean,
you know what it is mostly? It's mostly me.
being the glue?
No, it's because like I emit this aura of like love and charisma.
Oh, boy.
And
humility.
and money, just literally.
I was gonna
money.
say that's the best part is that you've managed to
so
say
bad.
you've managed to stay so down to earth, which is nice.
I said I'm PrimeTime on my podcast for the last 3 episodes.
Oh, and now he's dropping his podcast and everything. Jeez.
Sam's World, Nice Guy Digital family, #1 podcast right now. Did you know that?
Really?
In the Nice Guy Digital family.
I was gonna say, Wesam used to do a podcast called Actors Anonymous, and now and was on the original Brett Davern show all the time, talking about that. And then you took a break from that.
Yeah.
And then
Because I got
you
too
got
busy.
For the People.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're wildly famous. We've gone over how famous you are.
Stop.
Sam.
Okay.
You know, it's
go
one
ahead.
of those recurring jokes that is just going to become your personality the more you do it.
Oh, I hope not. Oh God.
I know. But no, so you're back with a new podcast called Wesam's World.
Yeah.
Katie and I are helping produce that, and you're doing it here at Adobe Studios, and you bring in actors and all kinds of different luminaries and have long form conversations with them.
Yeah.
I was on the last episode as your guest, and we talked for an hour and a half. So
Over, actually.
Yeah, it was more than that.
And it was so much fun. I mean,
had a
the
blast.
lowest numbers we've had, but I mean, it was a lot of fun on my end.
all right, Wesam. Well, we got to take a break.
You just muted your
He's
mic.
been muted as well. We're gonna be back.
I can project.
We'll be back with more with Wesam and cupcakes on the other side of you guys listening to In Hell, I'll Be in Good Company by the Dead South.
Thank you for watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast version of The Brett Davern Show. If you were listening live on Adobe Radio, you'd be hearing real music right now, instead of this message and whatever song this is. Sometimes the rules just won't let us play real music on YouTube or the podcast. It's not a big deal. Just putting it out there. Back with more show in a second.
The Brett Davern Show's not only an awesome radio show, but you can watch episodes for free on YouTube. YouTube.com/The Brett Davern Show. Adobe Radio.
Coming back with Wesam Keesh, otherwise now known as PrimeTime, his TV show, his big, famous, world famous, big time TV show, is called For the People. It's on ABC. That's the network ABC, people. That's big time. That's prime time, baby.
That's prime time.
He's
is
on.
is that where the name comes from?
For the People is on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. That is tonight, if you're keeping track. So be sure to tune in. Also, his podcast, Wesam's World, Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 3 p.m. Pacific on Adobe Radio. But if you miss it airing live, which I don't know why you would. What are you, crazy? But anyway, if you do happen to miss it, you can find it on any podcast app or also full episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can see Primetime in person.
I
Number
think
one
we
on
should
the
also note that Wesam is he likes the sound of his own voice. So typically the podcast goes longer than the broadcast.
Right.
So for the full episode, you should go to.
That's true. We're only able to air an hour of the podcast on Adobe Radio, and then the full episodes are podcasted and YouTube. So be sure to check all that stuff out. I want to, because this is the 100th episode of the Brett Davern Show, at least the 100th episode of the Brett Davern Show on Adobe Radio, I want to talk about for a second, and we got into it when I was a guest on Wesam's podcast, Wesam's World. I want to talk about for a second that this very show that we are all sitting here doing this morning, and Matt Adocius is working on, and SoonToBeNamed Meghan's working on, and Boy Wonder's working on, and Katie's here now, and here we are at Adobe. This whole thing is honestly happening because of Wesam Keesh. And it's not an overstatement by any means. And we get into the full story on his podcast when I'm a guest. So if you want to get kind of into the nitty gritty, go ahead and listen to that. I'll just quickly say that we were doing Awkward together. Wesam was on every season of Awkward. And we were standing on set one time, and Wesam just said kind of casually, like, hey, you should come be a guest on my podcast. And I was like, what? And that was when you were doing Actors Anonymous. And I was like, oh, you have a podcast? And he's like, yeah. And to this point, I thought podcasts, I mean, I've always been such a fan of radio and of podcasts, and I'd always wanted to do my own, but I just kind of, it's that thing where you just think like, oh, that's for, other people. That's for people that have it figured out. That's for people who have a massive staff and like a huge budget and like all these things. I thought it was so otherworldly and difficult and whatever. And I was like, wait a second, you're doing one? I was like, if you can do one.
Absolutely.
No, but really, I did think like, wow, I've always wanted to do one. And I remember saying to you, I've always wanted to do my own podcast. And you were kind of like, well, then just do it. Like, and so we started having lunches and coffees and figuring it out. And you lended a ton of support, and not just in telling me logistically how to do one, but just support in terms of like, hey man, like quit talking about it. Just do it already. And that is what sparked the original podcast with Marty and Ben, and has then snowballed into what we're doing now. And so I just want to say that on the air and let everybody know that, and give you credit where credit is due, man. And just also thank you.
Dude, that really means a lot to me. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I only showed you how to do it. The rest there was a lot of work that had to be done on your end. And so kudos to you for not just doing what 99% of people in LA and probably around the world do. Here's some good advice. People get shown the way, shown the path. This is what you need to do, and then they don't do it. You actually did all the work. You took the sacrifice, and you had a good motivation for it, which was your family. And I think that's always important. You got to know what the fuel for your fire is.
Yeah. Well, I also just I also just think too that like, it's just, especially in the business that we are in, I mean, times are good. It goes in peaks and valleys, right? Like times are really good.
Right.
You're on a show. Currently, I was on Awkward. Katie had switched at birth for 5 years. I mean, you're on a show. Good times it's great, and things are rolling along. But as all good things do, they come to an end eventually. And hopefully, it's 25 seasons from now. But I think the average length of a TV show is like 2 seasons or probably even less. I mean, really think about it. And so then you're going to be back out there and auditioning and whatever. And who knows, maybe you'll get the next job right away, but maybe you won't. And I think right now in this business is the best time to be creating your own stuff and being your own boss and trying to take control of this career and this life and however you can. And so creating your own thing is important. And I had always wanted to do it, but just had never had anyone who was like, no, here's how. You know, everyone just says like, yeah, do it. Start your own thing. But they never really provide the how. And that's what you were able to do. And so I thank you and appreciate you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Much love.
Yeah.
Everybody group hug, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna cheers those cupcakes together later and then rub them all over our bodies.
Wow. I will pass.
Maddie's gonna make a boomerang out of it.
I'll take the naked one.
You'll
Cupcake.
Wait, what? Huh? What else you want to talk about?
Oh, a quick the text message. Am I?
Oh
too
yeah,
elder?
let me tell everybody what happened. So
How much time do we have left? I know you guys are on like a time crunch here.
No, we're all right.
You're all right?
Oh,
All right,
the 973 texted in during the break and said, "Ask Wesam if he's a true baby. Ask him if he is an elder and if he'll be going to the cabin."
Wait, so are you guys actually starting a cult?
Yes, it's a cult. It's Chris D'Elia's cult for the podcast. Congratulations. I have to go through this really quickly because this is a whole thing. So, Chris D'Elia, hilarious comedian. I'm a true supporter.
Yeah, what is this text?
So if you listen to the podcast and you're a true fan, you're a baby. You're called a baby.
Of Chris D'Elia's podcast.
Yeah, you're a baby. You
Okay.
call him mommy
You're
or
his
daddy.
baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
mommy or daddy.
Oh, that's funny.
And then if you go above and beyond, you're an elder.
Oh,
You're a leader in the cult.
I see.
And so we were supposed to do 13 episodes of my show For the People. On the 11th episode, Bill D'Elia, world famous in the directing and producing world of TV, is Chris D'Elia's dad. Great director, super cool guy. And I was like, oh shit, this is my in to become an elder.
oh, he directed For the People.
He was going to direct episode 11.
Oh, he was going to.
And the ADs were already telling him, hey, listen, Wesam's a huge fan of your son. And before he could even finish, he was like, he wants to be an elder, doesn't he? He's like, okay, I'll see what I can do. I was going to do like this whole video with him to send over to Chris.
Oh, that's funny.
Chris and I have very light tweets back and forth. He's liked my stuff, retweeted.
Oh, cool.
I've seen him live. Go see his live shows. He's literally a master at his craft.
Yeah.
And he's not only funny, but he practices his shit literally every day.
There he goes again.
That's number 3.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, are they going to bleep us out?
Megan will later.
I like that he
I'm
keeps
so
asking
sorry,
after he
Megan.
does it.
I know. So they cut our episode count because of logistics
Yeah.
to 10. So
Oh,
I missed
no.
him just by one episode, and I'm like,
So you're not an elder yet?
no. And so
What do
I'm
you have
waiting
to-
till season 2, hopefully. Bill can
Listen,
come back
I
for
think that you advertising his podcast on another podcast for the last 3 minutes should make you an elder.
you need a little bit more. You should see the people who
Really?
become elders. They've gone way above and beyond. But I think the reason why that person brought it up, the whole full circle thing, is because you adopt mannerisms for people you hang out around a lot
Sure.
or you listen to a lot.
Oh,
And-
if I hang out with an Australian person, all of a sudden I'm just like, "Hey, good eye."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's highly offensive.
So what do you do that's...
So this one was just a blatant steal from his interview with the Fighter and the Kid podcast people, and they just bash on each other all the time because they love each other. And he comes into the podcast with his sunglasses on, and his friend Brian Callen goes, "Take your effing sunglasses off right now." He's like, I can't. My future's too bright." And so I was like,
that's
oh my
funny.
God, I have to steal that. So yeah.
That's funny.
All right.
Well, that's enough.
All right.
That's enough about
Okay, anyway.
Chris D'Elia and his dumb face. You said that they rip on each other because they love each other.
That's true.
That's
That's true.
see.
He does look like an eagle.
Chris knows.
He
I'm
does
a
look
fan.
like an eagle. And he can do it.
He's very
also.
physical.
Undateable was
He's very gangly.
fantastic.
You like that, huh?
I liked it
The
a lot.
gangly Chris D'Elia. All right. Well, that's enough fun for today on the Brett Davern Show, I think.
Damn it.
Let's. We're gonna eat some cupcakes. We're gonna wrap up the show, but before we do,
I wish this was like
let me just remind everybody that For the People is on tonight, and also is on every Tuesday night
right.
at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central
That's right.
on ABC. Tune in for what Wesam is doing on there. It's a great show. you're great on it.
Thank you.
And I know how hard you work. I'm very proud of you and very happy for you. And I just hope the people out there, tune in and support it and give it the love that it deserves.
Thank you so much.
And then also Wesam's World, which is his podcast, is on Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern on Adobe. But like we said, that's only like 55 minutes of the conversation that he has with his guest. If you want the full thing, check it out on any podcast app or on Nice Guy Digital's YouTube channel. Just, search Wesam's World and check out the full episodes. Also, though, before we go quickly, I want to just take a second because this is the 100th episode. We're not going to do this for the 200th episode and the 300th episode. We're going to have to wait till like another milestone one, like 500 or something, maybe. But this is 100, and so I just want to take a quick second and just say thank you to some very important people who deserve a thank you. First of all, thank you to Wesam. I've already gushed about what you've done for this show, so thank you to you. Thank you to Dan, who is Boy Wonder. I think Katie and we were doing pre-production here for a couple of days. We made the agreement with Tom, who owns Adobe, and then we had a couple of weeks to kind of prepare for episode number 1. And we were here and we were like, who's going to run the video? Who's going to edit it? And there's a bunch of staff members milling around Adobe. And we were like, that skinny kid, he's got something going on. I like that guy. Let's make sure it's him. And so we started bribing him with baked goods, and he's been here ever since. So thank you, Boy Wonder, for everything that you do. Megan, coming on board at the new year, soon to be named Megan, who is a quite talented writer. And hopefully we get to hear more fan fiction as time goes on. Thank you for everything that you do. Fish, Mike Fishkin, who's awesome, who has his own show here on Adobe called Gone Fishkin, who's been instrumental in getting this show up and running and off the ground. Thank you to you. Tom, who believed in us from day one and is the entire reason that we're here at Adobe. And I was here doing an interview for Party Boat. I was talking about my podcast that we were doing with Marty and Ben, and I was like, it's going to end because Ben moved away, and Marty, I didn't know if it could keep going with Marty, and Tom was like, well, why don't you come over here and do it? And it was kind of that thing where you just say it out loud and it comes back to you, and Tom's been, he knows all the ways that he's helped us, and so thank you to Tom. Eddie and Shireen and the whole staff at Adobe has been awesome. Marty and Ben, who were parts of the original podcast and are why we're here at Adobe. We would never have been able to even get on the internet if it was not for Big Ben Collinsworth. So, thank you to him. And then, of course, Marty Shannon, who is just, what is there to say about Marty? He's undescribable, really. I love that guy. And I remember the day that I called him and was like, hey, buddy, you want to do a podcast? And he, just from the first minute, was like, I'm in, let's do it. And so we wouldn't be here without him. Matadocious, who was our very first caller on the original Brett Davern show. We were taking phone calls. We took phone calls, I think, on episode 1 or episode 2. It's very, very early. And little Matadocious, who was just Madison at the time, called in from Nacogdoches, Texas, and she was our very first caller on the Brett Davern show. And on that episode, she said something about, I'll come out and intern for you guys. And we were like, yeah, right. Okay, fine. Give us a call after we're off the air and we'll set it up. And she did, and she followed through, and she moved to Los Angeles, and she had a lunch or a coffee with Ben, and they talked about the whole thing. And Ben was like, what do you think about this? You really want to hire this girl? Like, she's a fan of like Awkward and just called our show. Like, I don't know if it's going to work out.
She
and
could
I was
be
like,
a serial killer.
yeah, totally. She could be wearing our skin as a onesie. And I said, just go meet with her, like, see if you think she'll know what she's doing and whatever. And that was over a year ago. And she's here, and she's quit Hobby Lobby, and she's working at Adobe. I mean, she's now a full-time Adobe staff member and is crushing it here in the social media game and working on everything that Adobe does, and has a job here and doesn't have to work at Hobby Lobby anymore. And Maddie took a chance and took a risk, and we took a chance and a risk on her because, like we said, she could have killed us all. But she hasn't yet, and here she is. And so thank you, Maddie, for everything that you do. We couldn't do the show without you. And Katie LeClaire, who is responsible for this version of the Brett Davern Show. We would absolutely not be here without Katie. She does more work than any of us behind the scenes. Katie and I met on day one of Party Boat because some other actress's visa couldn't come through. And so they hired Katie at the last second, which is just the universe giving you the people that you need at the right time. And so we would definitely not be here without Katie and her talents and her skills and all of her organization and follow through behind the scenes. Katie, thank you. I could not do it without you.
Thank you, Commander Brett.
And for anyone else that I miss, my family who, puts up with me being gone most of the day and waking up early and blah, blah, blah. And our moms who have been part of the show and my brother who's been on the show. Dan's dad's been on the show. Who else? Denny is on the show all the time. It's just everybody who supports this show. Thank you so much. Cake Bams, our first sponsor and who is still our sponsor. Let me remind you, by the way, Cake Bams are delicious rice cakes. Go to cakebams.com. You guys hear me talk about them every day. Support them. If you support us, you will support our sponsors. And lastly, but definitely not least, all of the listeners.
Yeah.
You guys are the reason that we wake up early every morning, that we come in here every morning. From the first day of doing the original podcast with Ben and Marty to this day doing this version of the podcast, it has never felt like work, ever. And that is because of you guys and the support that you give to the show.
We should have some elders.
We need to work on. We have elders.
We do.
We got
It's
Jeremiah, and we got both Abbeys in Arizona, and we have
Steph B. Green.
the 3-4 and both 4-4s and Steph B. Green, and we have our elders. We call them super fans. But even if you're not on that status, even if you've only tuned in once, thank you so much for tuning in.
Tony.
We really, really do. Yeah, Tony in Pennsylvania. Everybody. Thank you for all of the support that you give to this show. And just hanging with us. And we hope that you'll be here for 100 more, and then 100 more, and 100 more, and 100 more after that. That's all I got. We good? All right. We'll see you on episode 101. But for now, that's a wrap, everybody, on this edition of the Brett Davern Show. Thank you for listening live on Adobe Radio, subscribing on YouTube, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcast. If you like what you heard, just tell a friend.
Tell him.
Say goodbye, Producer Katie.
Goodbye.
Producer Katie is on Twitter and Instagram at Katie LeClaire. But it's spelled like she's had too many mimosas. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at BDavva, and it's spelled like I have a speech impediment. You can follow the show on any social media, including Facebook at Brett Davern Show. Today's guest, Wesam Keesh. PrimeTime can be found on social media at Wesam Keesh.
Not at PrimeTime.
Not yet, anyway. And if you want to find his podcast on social media, it's at Wesams_world. No. Yes.
Thank you, Matt.
He shook his head as if no, and Maddie said yes, which is why Matadocious is Queen Matadocious.
Right.
That's right. Check out the podcast Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern on Adobe Radio or podcasted on YouTube. We've already talked about that. And also check out his TV show, which is the reason that he's now called PrimeTime. It's For the People, Tuesday nights, 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central on ABC.
Right.
Be sure to keep it on Adobe Radio all day long for great shows and music. Coming up tonight, another Nice Guy Digital program. Pruner TV is on at 6 p.m. Eastern. Dangerous Darren at 7. And Waldman's Words at 8 p.m. I almost said Waldman's Worlds, but who would do that? That's silly. Once again, for producer Katie and Boy Wonder and soon-to-be-named Meghan and Matadocious and Wesam and everyone who was texting today.
I'm excited
Here
for
we
this.
go.
I am so excited.
From the 920, the 34, the 973, the 530, the 44, the 920, the 816, the 586, the 818, the 520, the 480, the 612, the 916, the 602, the 413, the 516, the 816, the 425, the 33, the 44, the 920, the 310, the 661, the 952, the 703, the 832, the 210, the 928, and the 828. And the 801. I'm Brett, reminding all of you to be kind and take care of each other. We will see you tomorrow. Good night, Nick, Joe, and Paul, and Brooke.
That's it for the Brett Davern Show today. But don't worry, they'll be back tomorrow on Adobe Radio Live, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.